Mercutio is a young man, friends with Romeo, energetic, he's got a credible imagination, and all he wants to do is just have fun, be young and have good times, go to parties, enjoy himself. But I think there are dark places, very dark places with Mercutio. These are young men of fairly good standing, their families are wealthy. And they're probably bored quite a lot of the time. They stand around on the streets of Verona and don't have a lot of things to do, and therefore find themselves in trouble and getting into fights. And I think that's something that can be attributed to the young people of today. So that was something that I clicked on with Mercutio. He's got a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm and passion for life, but doesn't always find the best avenues to express himself, get that energy out of him, and therefore, to his fatal end, gets into a fight and perishes halfway through the play. I spoke to Bill Buckhurst, the director, to ask him to see me for the role of Mercutio, and very openly just said to him in the audition, although I understand all the imagery, I understand exactly what's being said in that speech, I've no idea why Mercutio chooses to tell this story about this fairy that delivers dreams in the night when he's trying to get Romeo to go to a party. The key for me was in the lines immediately before the speech and immediately after. Although it's a set piece, it's quite difficult to do in isolation. You have to do it as part of the scene, as part of the play, and as part of Mercutio's overall character. He's desperately trying to get Romeo to cheer up, to lose this depression, forget about Rosaline, come to this party. Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance. If you sink in it, should you burden love, too great oppression for a tender thing. He's trying to get him into the party spirit, and Romeo keeps dampening him down, going on about love. And he says, if love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down. Ignore it, forget it. Let's just go and have a good time. And he says, I dreamt a dream tonight. And this idea of dreams sparks the creativity in Mercutio. Mercutio and Romeo, throughout the play word games. They almost rap battle with each other. They kind of take each other's words and they twist the meaning and they play with the language. He does go off into a dark place and gets lost in his own imagination, and then when Romeo snaps him out of it at the end and says, you talk of nothing, he says, true, I talk of dreams. And I think that the whole speech really is a warning for Romeo from Mercutio. If you carry on this self-indulgent track where you're just in misery all the time, you're going to end up like me. They really set up Romeo as being one of the boys, not being this sap, foppish lover. He's a young man, he's playful and he's boisterous and he's rude at times as well. And therefore the change when he sees Juliet is more impressive. And Mercutio is so concerned about it because this isn't the normal Romeo. When we see him meet Mercutio in the market square for the first time and they have that big word battle and he says, now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo, now art thou what thou art by art as well as by nature. Now you are back to yourself. I think without Romeo, Mercutio's quite lost and he's quite apprehensive. In the character list and folio, it lists Romeo, son of Montague, Benvolio, his cousin, and then later on Mercutio, Romeo's friend. It doesn't say Romeo and Benvolio's friend, it doesn't say friend to the Montagues, it says Romeo's friend, and I think that's interesting. The irony is that for most of the play, it's Mercutio and Benvolio that are on stage together, discussing where Romeo is, where he's been, and there's an uneasy tension between them. Although they're friendly, there's something that doesn't quite click. And then when Romeo comes in, you can see that the group is complete. I don't think Mercutio knows who he is unless Romeo's around. And Mercutio gets more and more nervous about the fact that the other half of himself is missing. He really needs that energy to bounce off. He needs that wordplay. When Romeo's not around, Mercutio finds it more difficult to cope. And that's actually what ends up killing Mercutio in that scene where Tybalt turns up and challenges Romeo. And Romeo doesn't accept the challenge and Mercutio calls him a coward. Calm, dishonourable, vile submission. And that's what starts the fight, and that's actually what ends up killing Mercutio.
Isn't God enough nothing? What art thou hurt? Aye, aye. Scratch, scratch. Aye, 'tis enough.